Tonight, former President George H.W. Bush dies.
A 7.0 magnitude earthquake hits it near Anchorage, Alaska.
And a man from Shenango, New York is charged with DWI.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Jake Vanderbroek.
And I'm Chelsea Garby. The funeral plans are set for George H.W. Bush. The 41st President of the United States will be brought to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Before he is laid to rest in his home state of Texas, homes in Houston with the details.
1,000 points of light.
It will be difficult for leaders, politicians, and everyday Americans to honor the full legacy of George Herbert Walker Bush and his impact on the world. But for the next several days, they will try. 41st President and war hero will lie in state at the United States Capitol this week. A memorial service at the National Cathedral in Washington to follow. Those in his adopted home state of Texas will also have a chance to pay their respects. A funeral at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston before he's laid to rest at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library in College Station, next to his beloved wife, Barbara.
He was a receptive person. You could go in and tell him anything, good news, bad news. You just wanted to chat. He was always available to you. And his humility demonstrated itself in so many different ways.
The president's health had slowly faded over the years, and his family and friends were preparing for this moment.
He said after Barbara died that he wasn't ready to go. He used to kid about wanting to live to be 100. But that last day was really a very, very gentle and peaceful passing for him.
For the former Navy pilot, congressman, CIA director, special envoy, vice president, and commander-in-chief, it will be a remembrance fit for American political royalty. In Houston, Texas, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Family and friends will honor George H.W. Bush at the National Cathedral in Washington for the funeral service on Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Liam Healy. Liam, what do you got?
Well, Jake, it's pretty chilly out here right now, but if you take a look at our radar and satellite, we're seeing some clear skies throughout the area. It's nice to be dry for just a little bit, but if you look just off to the other side of the screen, you do see the showers moving in towards Buffalo. Those are going to be coming through later tonight. We check our overnight plan and we're going to get you through the rest of the night here. We're keeping clear right now, but later on the clouds are going to arrive. Going to stay around 46 for a while, but as we head on later in the night, 3 a.m., might see a quick shower, and then we start cooling off pretty quickly as our cold front begins to move through. I'm going to have the rest of that and more coming up in your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. For right now, we're going to send into the office for our live reporter, Tomas Rodriguez.
SUNY Oswego's radio station, WNYO, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. 5 decades of music and radio shows. As I learned, they not only have audience here in Oswego, but worldwide. SUNY Oswego's radio station, WNYO, is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of music and radio shows. Last Friday, I attended Matt and Carl in the Morning, a radio show hosted by Matthew Rowlands and Carl Neff.
How we doing, Matt?
I thought you'd never ask. No, I'm doing great. It's
just one of those days again, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We gotta get back in the rhythm. We've had all break off.
Yeah.
The station currently has over 30 different weekly programs, which range from morning shows to talk shows or retro music programs.
I think for me, it's just a changing sort of industry. Like, you know, podcasts are becoming much bigger, social media is becoming much bigger, and even a radio show like this, we can still, you know, even if it is a college radio show, I know that, you know, sometimes I have my parents listening at home, Carl might have his parents listening at home, he's got his cousin that tunes into the show and calls in, and so we know people not only that are, you know, around in the Oswego area, but plenty of other people that are listening as well.
But WNYO isn't only accessible for the locals. In fact, people from all around the world tune in on a daily basis.
I have made connections with plenty of people all over the world. Excuse me. I have a host family in France who I've had that student come here to stay with me, gone back to his family, and they tune into the show, and they can either do that on the website or the Radio FX app.
5 decades on air are now in the books, with plenty yet to go. Here at WTOP, we would like to wish WNYO a very happy anniversary, as they strive to break many records for these upcoming years. Back to you guys at the desk.
Construction has begun a $26.2 million mixed income and used housing development on former industrial site in the city of Oswego. It will be covering an entire city block. Harbor View Square will be having 75 rental homes, 57 apartments in 5-story building, 18 two-story townhomes, and more than 10,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space. Oswego Mayor Billy Barlow said the projects will anchor the city's downtown.
A Chenango man is facing drunk driving charges after driving his Dodge pickup truck the wrong way on Interstate 81, striking another vehicle head-on. The 39-year-old suspect was driving a 2012 Dodge Ram in the wrong direction and struck a 2013 Nissan Rogue driven by a 28-year-old Binghamton man. The 28-year-old was taken by ambulance to Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse for pelvic pain. The suspect, who was intoxicated, was not injured. However, he was arrested. Police will release the suspect's name at a later date, and more charges are possible.
A 30-year-old man suffered gunshot wounds to his hands and arms this morning. Police say the man's injuries are not life-threatening, and officers responded to the shooting around 2 a.m. today. It was reported on the 300 block of Richmond Avenue. The victim from this morning's shooting told police he was sitting in the passenger seat of a vehicle on Richmond Avenue when he was shot. He also told police he wasn't able to see who shot him. Police are asking for anyone with information to call 315-442-5222.
A New Hartford man is charged with possessing child pornography. 42-year-old Eric Foster is charged with 1 count of possessing a sexual performance of a child. He was booked into the Oneida County Correctional Facilities and was released on bail. Officials say the investigation will be turned over to the Oneida County District Attorney's Office, and additional charges are possible.
Earlier today, a group of activists and attorneys are hoping to take advantage of changes atop of the Syracuse Police Department by asking for an overhaul of officers, training in the use of force at the downtown library. Speakers say the police department has an outdated use of force policy, simply addresses when officers are justified in using physical or deadly force against suspects. The Department of Chiefs, Kenton Buckner, will be starting his new job on Monday.
According to Syracuse.com, the Roman Catholic Diocese of Syracuse will publish a list tomorrow of clergy accused of sexual abuse of a minor in the diocese since 1950. The diocese says the list will include the names of priests both living and deceased. The release of the list was publicly announced in a letter from Bishop Robert J. Cunningham, who seems to have reserved his previous policy, which was to confirm the names once a victim made it public, but not to release a list. The New York State Attorney General launched a probe in September to all 8 dioceses in the state, seeking information about whether church officials knew about and covered up sexual abuse by clergy.
According to Attorney General Barbara Underwood, 6 new hospitals have agreed to repay sexual assault victims who were illegally charged as much as $3,000 for rape examinations that should have been billed to the state or to their insurers. 5 hospitals in New York City and 1 in Rockland County wrongly billed victims for at least 2,200 forensic rape exams in recent years. The hospitals have agreed to enact new billing policies to ensuring going forward victims don't get charged. Each hospital will pay a fine up to $15,000.
Coming up later tonight, Iran will be continuing a missile test.
And a series of tornadoes touched down in Illinois.
This is WTOP 10 Nightly News. We'll be right back.
Josh, the stream's not working. We need you to fix it right now.
The stream's down? I'll be right there.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Always. Lock it up.
Jake.
Hi.
What's wrong?
It's just a bad day, you know.
Oh, Creative Services can help you.
It's in the GT area already.
Okay.
Welcome back. I'm Storm Team Tech Meteorologist Liam Healy. And I'm just going to take a moment to appreciate right here the fact that we have these 40-degree temperatures right now, because I don't think we're going to be seeing them much longer. 42 degrees right now in Fulton, cooling off a little bit quicker down in Syracuse. If you have those cooler air down away from the lake, it's going to be a chilly night, but not as bad. We're looking across the nation right now, and we're seeing this big area. You have all these cold air coming around Canada. We have our cold front located right across this area here. That's going to be making its way through the area tonight. All right, let's take a look. We're going to make these temperatures move throughout the next couple days. You see this cold air really begin to take hold as you move into Tuesday. So tomorrow, we're going to be starting out warm in the morning, but as the day goes on, we're actually going to be getting colder. So that's pretty interesting. We're going to take time and all after here in your futurecast. Showers begin to move in. This is Monday, midnight. We see these clouds move in. There's some showers moving in. We're still pretty warm, in the 40s across most of the region. Now, as you move along through the rest of the night, most of this is starting to come through. This is right around when our cold front's supposed to make its way through. Monday, 9 a.m., see some snow starting to mix in on the Tug Hill. You have the rest of these showers moving through the area. Right now, morning commute looks like rain on 481 as you get through that area, but you could see a few snow showers as they do start to sneak in as you head through the rest of the day. Your evening commute, 5 p.m., it's going to be kind of messy. You're seeing these snow showers. They're coming through the area. They're all over I-81. They're all over the lake shore. These temperatures, they're not exactly at freezing yet. So you're going to be seeing this being heavy, wet snow. That's going to get stuck to the road. It's going to get stuck to the trees. And it's just going to be a pain if it does start to accumulate. Most of this, especially down south here, it will not accumulate too much, if at all. But as you get up into the Tug and Watertown and some of these higher elevation areas, you're going to see those accumulations, maybe up to a slushy inch, but it's going to be heavy to move, and it is going to make travel a little bit more difficult than it would be if it was clear. But at least we do clear out Monday night. You see these temperatures still chilly. It's going to be cold. It's going to stay cold. Tuesday, we barely make it out of 30 here. Many places up north here barely make it up to 25 degrees. So it's going to be a cold day. It's going to be a dreary couple of days. And we see right here, rain to snow, 43 degrees. And that's in the morning, that 43 degrees. We're going to see that high. And as we make it along to the rest of the day, it's going to cool down. We're going to transition over to snow showers, 26 degrees. Winds are going to shift out to the northwest, really drag down that cold air from Canada. We're going to check out the next 7 days. And like I said, you're seeing chilly temperatures. You have Monday, Tuesday, the start of the cold. As you head into Wednesday and Thursday, not too bad on Wednesday. It's going to be clear, but you get that Thursday snow chance once again from a Clipper system moving through the area. And as you head into Friday and Saturday, a chilly start to your weekend, but at least the sun looks like it might come out for Sunday. We'll be right back. We'll have more news coming up in just a little bit.
You know who's going off in fantasy this week? Drew Brees. Brees with time.
You know, you guys are sleeping on Odell Beckham Jr., though. I think he's scoring 3 TDs this week.
And it throws it Beckham across the middle.
Now, tell me, the Bears' defense is what's going to go off this week. I mean, holy
Chicago Bears.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Want to know all the latest things pop culture? Tune in to Let's Talk About It every other Monday at 10 p.m.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. After Alaska was struck with a 7.0 magnitude earthquake, there have been reports of over 1,000 aftershocks with a magnitude of 1.5 or higher in Alaska since Friday. According to CNN, there have been no reports of facilities or serious injuries in Alaska's biggest city, Anchorage, with a population of about 300,000 people. The majority of the damage occurred near Anchorage.
A massive cleanup effort is underway in central Illinois after a string of tornadoes hit the area. Authorities say at least 20 people were hurt and dozens of homes were destroyed. David Daniel has a closer look at the destructive twisters and the damage left behind.
No outbreak, leaving some parts of Illinois flattened and in a mangled mess.
Walking out and just total chaos. Trash, debris, houses smashed everywhere.
The National Weather Service says more than 20 unconfirmed tornadoes were reported in the central part of the state. Local officials say at least 20 people were injured because of the weather. The swarm of tornadoes knocked down trees, snapped power lines, and damaged buildings.
The second alarm went off. I grabbed my kids and we went down in the basement, and like about 10 seconds later, you know, it was just like a train running through.
At the height of the storm, as many as 10,000 customers in Illinois were without power.
The garage is gone. My car that was in the garage is all smashed. The garage is in the back of my kitchen, blew all the windows out.
In the town of Butler, one tornado ripped through a car dealership, peeling off the roof. The owner says hundreds of classic cars were damaged.
The wind must have been pretty strong.
Along the path of destruction, some rain and snow is expected Sunday as survivors begin the cleanup effort. I'm David Daniel reporting.
Early numbers reach as high as 22 tornadoes touching down during the outbreak. The National Weather Service says the actual number of confirmed tornadoes will be determined by storm surveys in the coming days.
Earlier today, Iran made an announcement it will not stop missile tests to strengthen its defenses. On Saturday, Secretary of State Pompeo says Iran's missile tests breached a 2015 agreement within the Iranian missile program, which Washington has withdrew from. According to Reuters.com, U.S. security officials believe Iran has tested ballistic missiles have the capability to reach Europe and Israel. Iran claims that they are testing missiles to not breach the nuclear agreement, and they will continue to do so in order to enhance the country's defenses. A Lancaster, Pennsylvania woman in need of a kidney found a match at a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey game. According to Fox, now 31-year-old Kelly Sawatsky was determined to find a kidney donor she desperately needed. A Pittsburgh fan noticed Sawatsky sign at a hockey game, and messaged her on Facebook. The two were A-positive matches, making it possible for Kelly to receive the transplant.
According to CNN, President Donald Trump announced his intention late Saturday to withdraw the United States from the North American Free Trade Agreement. President Trump said, quote, "I will be formally terminating NAFTA shortly," end quote. This was told to reporters while on Air Force One en route from the conferences in Buenos Aires. With President Trump pulling out of NAFTA, it is one of the first signs of how he plans on dealing with the Democratic majority.
According to Reuters News, French President Emmanuel Macron called on his prime minister on Sunday to hold talks with political leaders and demonstrators. Riots continue in central Paris, turning it into a war zone. Protesters are retaliating against fuel tax hikes by breaking into wealthy neighborhoods, torching dozens of cars, and looting boutiques. Paris is experiencing some of the worst unrest since 1968. And the family of a Tampa, Florida woman had been looking forward to hearing stories about her special trip to Costa Rica. But instead of good news, the family is looking for any news at all about their 36-year-old. Isabel Rolales has the story. All right, we are sorry for that. We are having technical difficulties with that. But coming up later in sports, James Cataldo, you want to give us a quick preview?
Hey, thanks, guys. Well, we got a lot of local and state-level sports for you tonight. We have SU football. Where are the Orange going to fall in their bowl play? We will see right after the break. You are watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
I'm a lot more confident.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm James Cataldo bringing you your Sunday night sports update. We got a lot of local sports to cover today, so let's get right into it. This past Friday, the Oswego State Lakers took on the red-hot Brockport Golden Eagles in their annual Teddy Bear Toss game. And let's head out to the Marano Campus Center ice, where we are going to take a look at how that game went. And sorry about that, technical difficulties. So we are going to move on to the next story here, where that was the Friday when they played Brockport. They ended up walking away with a 5-2 victory. Then the next day, the Lakers hockey team looked to up the ante when they traveled to take on the number 2 team in the country and conference rival SUNY Geneseo. Although the defense was on point the entire match, the goaltender David Richet recording a season-high 31 saves. The offense couldn't carry the load, going scoreless for the first time all season. Geneseo capitalized on Oswego's goalless woes and scored a goal in each of the 3 periods, giving them the 3-0 win over the Lakers. And after this tough loss, the men look to rewrite history when they take on Potsdam and Plattsburgh for their annual whiteout weekend. Both teams give Oswego a run for their money every outing, as the Lakers have only gotten 1 win from either team in the past 3 years. And get ready to camp out in that long line tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and get those tickets, because it will sell out very fast, and it will be a weekend you will not want to miss. And from a Geneseo loss to a Geneseo win, the men's basketball team had a perfect weekend, knocking off the Knights 68-58 and grabbing a win over Brockport 73-63. Liam Sanborn and Joe Sullivan paved the way away for the red-hot Lakers, averaging 13 and 16 points over the two-game stretch. Defense has been the major key for the men in this 6-0 start, as they are only allowing a little over 61 points every contest. According to the NCAA rankings, they have the 5th largest scoring margin in the nation and are clicking on all cylinders, to say the least, and they look to carry their perfect season into a 2-game road stand as they take on Fredonia and Buffalo State. And with Selection Sunday wrapping up like a Christmas present in December, the bowl-bound Syracuse Orange will face the number 16 team in the country, West Virginia, in the Camping World Bowl. After being known as a basketball school for the majority of their time as a university, the Orange are back to their winning ways, so much so that the final college football playoff ranking had the Dino Babers-led squad 20th to end the season, their highest final AP rank since 1997. With the Will Greer-led West Virginia being on the cusp of clinching a college playoff spot in the top 4 before losing an absolute classic of a game to Oklahoma, this won't be an easy one for the Orange, but when the team gets on the plane December 28th and leaves from Orlando to go back to Syracuse, it could be one of the best wins in program history. And staying put at the Carrier Dome, it was a Boeheim family reunion yesterday. Jim and Buddy Boeheim headed the Syracuse Orange as they defeated Jimmy Boeheim and the Big Red of Cornell 63-55. Although the Dome was littered with Boeheims last night, the stories of the contest were guards Tyus Battle and O'Shea Brissett, who combined for 45 of Cuse's 63 points for the comeback win. After the game, however, Jim Sr. was in no mood to discuss family matters, as he said the effort was horrendous from the jump. And the Orange look to do a little bit better as they go on to take on Northeastern this coming Tuesday.
Now, James, you know, a nice win for Syracuse with that family reunion, but what are your thoughts on the Cuse football team? Do they deserve to be in a better bowl?
No, I think that they're pretty okay. I mean, the fact that Georgia lost to Bama definitely had a role in it. Because Oklahoma, now that they have made the college football playoff, I think it only makes sense that they play West Virginia, and that's a very tough matchup for them. I think you're going to see a very solid West Virginia team come out, and unfortunately, I think he's going to walk away with a loss.
All right, Liam, final check of the forecast really quick.
We're just going to check those temperatures one more time and just appreciate the 40s that we have on the board right now. 45 degrees right here in Oswego, but get down towards Syracuse, get down to 39 degrees, 38 degrees in Cleveland. But just appreciate those 40s right along the lakeshore. I can't tell you the next time you're going to see them. Might not be for a few more weeks.
Oh, boy. Well, that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for, excuse me, what?
Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Want to know all the latest things pop culture? Tune in to Let's Talk About It every other Monday at 10 p.m.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Pretty good today. Pretty good. You know,